Hey, this is for the new student in class 8787. I'm just going to talk to you so that you can understand the homework, okay? So, I apologize. I couldn't give you this video earlier because a lot of the things we do in class, we decide during class time, okay? So last night we decided on this piece of paper. I will email this to you, okay? And I apologize second time because the topic is very boring. So this is political questions. Political questions, okay? So we didn't do any of the questions. We just looked at some of the vocabulary on the back, okay? So they have words like election. So we talked about election and elect, and then referendum. Referendum. We talked about how a referendum and election are different and this kind of stuff. So we talked about half of these words, okay? So politics, political, ambassador. We talked about ambassadors and embassies, and a consulate. Consulate is like a smaller embassy and stuff like that. And reliable and represent officials and citizen. And campaign and compulsory. Compulsory like mandatory. And then drawback. And we stopped at drawback, okay? So drawback is just something that is like a negative to a plan or something like that. Like if you say, I'm going to go to Jeju-do this weekend, you go, oh, that's great. You'll see this and you'll eat that and it's all good. The one drawback is the weekend will be very busy. The weekend will be very busy. So this is called a drawback. It's like the one negative thing, okay? Anyways, later we're going to discuss the bottom words. And then slowly we'll look at some of these questions and stuff like that. Not all of them, but the interesting questions, okay? There's 44 questions here. Probably we'll talk about 15 or 20 questions, okay? So you can start to prepare this. You should try to know these words. Usually our topic is much better. Movies or fashion or art or something like that. But it just happens your first class is politics, okay? So I'll send you this. Another thing we did last class is we looked at the 12 verbs, English verbs. 12 English verb tenses, okay? So there's no homework here. There's no more homework here, but you might want to take a look at this, okay? So we talked about when to use things, and it is quite easy for this class, but I just wanted to give them this piece of paper. I just made it recently, so but you can look at those patterns here for the perfect tenses. The past tense, past perfect, and the future perfect. Now you can see here, this chart and this chart look almost the same, as well as this chart, the past perfect continuous and the future perfect continuous. The charts look the same, and that's because really they are the same thing, okay? As well as this one. So past continuous and then future continuous, okay? These charts look the same for a reason, and these ones as well, okay? So if you go to the past, the future, they all look the same. And they look the same, and there's a reason for that, okay? English is kind of structured that way. Anyways, this is just a piece of paper to help you with verbs, okay? So I'll give you this, and next class we're going to talk about this one as well, okay? So this is idioms from household items, okay? So don't worry about the first page. But the other students don't have this, okay? So if you don't want to do it, I will print a copy for you, and you can come next time. But if you want to look at them early, I'll give you the file, okay? So there's as sharp as a tack, to bury the hatchet, a flash in the pan, and stuff like that. So you can look them up in a dictionary, okay? You don't need to do this early. If you want, you can just come to class and we can do it together. But if you want to be more comfortable on your first day, you can look at this as well, okay? So next class, the only thing we're going to do is discuss the vocabulary on here and then look at these idioms, okay? That will be next class. And then if you really, really, really want to do homework, I'm going to give you one more file, okay? So this is kind of like a reading thing, a reading homework. And we don't talk about this in class. One of the students in the class really, really enjoys this reading homework, and the other student usually doesn't do it. So it's up to you. This is optional homework, okay? So I'm going to give you this one, Talking in the New Land. The story is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, longer than I thought. 5.5 pages. 5.5 pages. Okay. And then it's followed by some questions. Some questions and some vocabulary work. So you should probably know these words here. This is page 10. Page 10. You should probably know these words here before you read the story. So it'd be good if you went to page 10 and then went through these words and then went to the story. But I don't think these words are too difficult for you. Maybe the word hobbled. Hobbled is difficult. But the other words, pretend, I think you know pretend and stuff like that. So you can look at that. Again, this is, I think, 20 pages. If you don't want to print it or you have no interest in doing the reading, that's okay. You can come here on Monday, I can give this to you, or you can never do it. That's up to you. You are an adult. This is really, truly optional. If you do it, I'm happy. I'll mark it. I'll fix it. If you don't do it, I'm still happy, okay? Really, if you just come to class and you can talk about this piece of paper and these idioms, I'll be super, super happy, okay? The other things like the verb tenses, if you understand that, that's great. If you want to do the story, that's all great, okay? I don't want to give you too much pressure. That's it. That's it. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.